Hello there. Welcome back. We are streaming now, third day of accountability stream. Today, honestly, I'm not really feeling like it because yesterday I saw some arena and we dopamine receptors have got corrupted. They are like, what are we doing with life? Okay, anyway. Did valid parenthesis yesterday. Today we might do one. I think one of them is monotonic stack concept. I think daily temperature is monotonic stack. This one is the difficult one actually. Car fleet. I just can't get around its logic a lot of times. It's just too difficult. Don't recall designer stack. Okay, this one, yeah. Yeah, we just see. This one is interesting. I loved this one the very first time I did it. 2024. Huh. Been 2 years or oh. Damn, it's really long time. Design a stack that supports push, pop, top, and iterative implement stack. When stack initialize the stack project, stack object, basically a class where you have to have push, pop, top, and get mem. See, all of these three are already implemented in the stack. Even if we try to implement it using array lists in Java, it wouldn't be that difficult. Like, it would be just a bunch of pointers. This top pointer is the important one, and yeah, and to get min, you just always keep track of the minimum, so that becomes an O(1) operation. It's just stupid. Like, it's a great question for a first time, but second time onwards it's just straightforward. So let's not solve this one. Reverse polish is just prefix, infix, postfix. I think this is postfix. I don't recall the terminology, but it is straightforward as well. Daily temperatures, as I said, is monotonic stack. Car fleet, I can't solve it, too difficult. I can't even think through its algorithm every time I read. Like, it's pretty straightforward that the slowest car actually slows the entire thing down. But I just can't jot this one for some reason. Longest consecutive sequence. Yeah, this is one of the great ones. Good ones actually. Maybe we can do something from sliding window today. Yeah, we can also just do this one without repeating characters. Given an unsorted array of integers nums, return the length of the longest consecutive element sequence. Okay, this is about integers and not a string. Measure of n time. Okay. Think there is, yeah, you have the length of the array, right? The longest consecutive element sequence is 1 2 3 4. Its length is 4. Mm, 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 mm. If you sort, it becomes n log n, which is greater than n. So sorting is not the solution here. Yeah. Let's look at the constraints. Yeah, 10 to the power 5. That's why it's saying you should do it in O of n and not O of n square. But it would recall if I remember its logic, then we won't solve it. If I don't, we'll solve it. As I said, sorting just makes it O of n log n, and then it's pretty straightforward. You just keep checking whether the next number is previous number plus 1. That's actually pretty stupid. Derivative O of n. Okay, I don't recall its logic. Let's go ahead and solve this. So IntelliJ, create a new class. What is this? Is the stream tubular? Increase the bitrate today. Still some kind of issue might be there. Yep, this is still not enough actually. I need to increase the bitrate again. Hopefully my CPU is able to handle less. Change the bitrate. Okay, I think I'm no longer live. Resolving. Longest n integer sequence, right? Longest consecutive sequence. So int quality still looks bad. Okay, I'll just stop and restart the stream. Still looks terrible. Let me check my CPU usage. It's fine. String doesn't look as clear as it should, but okay. Just copy the problem with an example. Control shift and then forward slash, not only control forward slash. Here I also return the length of the longest consecutive element sequence. Okay. So we are going to need to iterate the array. Obviously, how do you know whether we have seen an element that is in sequence? And they don't have, it doesn't have to be sub array. It's okay if just the element is present, right? I think there was a mathematical approach to this, like you can sum these. No, that's for, I think, if there is something missing from the sequence. What if we do a 2-pointer here? Like you search for n-1 for every single n and then increment if it exists. So like you have a pointer on 100, you search the rest of the array, then you have a pointer on 4, you search the rest of the, that's a of n square solution with the amount of n. these are integers, a hash map would also make a sound solution. You just iterate through the array, you hash everything. Is it given that these integers are unique? No, right? But that quite doesn't matter for us, I guess. Sure. So you go through the array once. For each element you store it as a key, and then maybe a boolean that it is present. Okay, once you have all of them, that's of n, then what do you do is, for you do a second pass, and for every element you check whether the n-1 was seen in the hash map or not. With an of one lookup, it quite doesn't matter. So that is still again of an operation, right? You go through the array once, and then you go through array once again. That's of n. Sorry, that's of 2n. Is it? So of n plus O of n. So it is O of 2n. Not sure. I need to revise this. So how do I do this? It's a very good question. Hello chat. How you doing? So we are solving longest sequence problem where we have an unsorted array of integers. We are supposed to find the longest consecutive element sequence. That's, for example, if this is the array, then you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 is the longest chain you can do. But the constraint here is, how do I do it in O of n? Yay, nice. Why are you not doing office work? Why are you watching my history? Great, man. I'm great. Thanks for asking. Currently, I am just thinking about how this could be done. I can easily think of a n-square solution that for each element you just check whether its previous element is present or not. If it is, but then how do we still get a chain? Yeah, if you have previous element, that means you have a sequence, right? So of n square seems pretty clear, but of n, yeah, I don't know. What it's best. Another approach, as I said, I could think of was go through the array once. The first pass, make note of all of the elements that we see in hash map, and in the second pass you just check whether the n-1 is present in the hash map with an O of 1 lookup. But then you have to go through the array twice, so that's O of n plus O of n. So I guess that counts as O of 2n. I'm not sure. What else can we do with the hash map? What if we, as we go, okay. See, sorting directly solves this problem. if we sort, then the elements in sequence will be just in sequence. So that would be simple, but then that still, even in best case, that's off and log in with more sort. So that is still worse than off and I think the stream is blurry, is it? I have increased the bitrate, but the one that is going is 935. I can see it in the studio, but OBS I have set it to 3600 something. I don't know why is it so blur even at 720. Does bitrate also depend on network and not only the encoder? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or is it because I reduced the frame rate, yeah, 30 from 60, maybe that might be the reason. Okay, anyway. What next? What else can I think of? We go through each element and then we delete its previous element to the present. See, one of the established fact is this: we have to make sure that for number n, we need n minus 1 to be present in the array to increment the sequence, right? Sequence counter rather. Counters. Now, how do we make sure while staying off? And this is the big question. Off and square won't be that difficult to code, as I said. It's interesting to do often. But then again, there is one more catch in offense square, that you have to find the longest one. So there could be sequences like 1 2 3 4 and then 101 and 102. Both are valid sequences. Longest one is 1 2 3 4. So there is that as well. Damn it. So we can't just rely on this. We might need something else. Among the counted sequences, we have the length of longest one. Question is how this entire process of even for a O of n square, if we check for every element whether n minus 1 is present, then we make it a sequence counter. Then the okay, let's try O of n square solution first. Let's see if we can optimize that, or whether there is completely different algorithm. 0 less than length is then I plus plus for every element you check every other element. So for int j equals I plus 1, j less than or equal to start length equal to would go out of bounds, right? So this one should be -1 and this one should be nums less than nums length spelled this j plus plus. Oh, current num equal to yeah. So I yeah, and if nums of j equal to current num -1, then that means it is part of some sequence, right? If it is part of a sequence, we can safely assume that there is a sequence of at least 2 numbers. So we also need some variable that keeps count of max int max max length to 0. Yeah. What's the default we are supposed to return? Okay, I can't see any defaults. Mostly I would return 0. That is fine. Then we can just do a counter and we do a counter reset and counter. Sorry, this should be keeping track of every number, so that should be above here equal to 0. For every number you check how far back can I go? No, this won't work. Like for every number, if you check whether its previous number exists, and then when do we reset the counter? Can't reset the counter here. I think my PC is running out of memory. Nope, it's not. Why can't it maintain a steady stream of bitrate?